He's actually got a big match coming up at East vs. West 4, set by legend arm wrestler Engin Terzi. And he'll be going against the #1 arm of Australia, Lachlan Adair. How do you think that's going to turn out, bro?
I got Sandris. I think Sandris will probably win just on versatility and options. I think it's an exciting match. Powerful man. Lachlan is really strong. So is Lachlan a threat? Sure, yeah, mega threat. Does he have lanes to win? Yeah. Great dude as well, Lachlan. Lovely lad. Very, very straight, raw dude. I have a lot of time for Lachlan Adair. I really like that bloke. I don't know him well, but whenever we've spoke, he just comes across as as a very forthright, very straight lad. And I think he's got a big career in the sport of arm wrestling. So, and he's clearly a powerhouse. I mean, the man is very, very strong. I think that he's lacking experience at that elite level, and lacking potentially experience against that kind of test. And I think that will create problems for him against Sandris, because Sandris has the ability to take the match into so many different areas at blistering speed. And I think that will prove the distance. We'll see. I thought Marcio was going to beat Irakli. Didn't work out. So, I've got Sandris. We'll see.
I got to ask you, bro, about that Marcio versus Irakli match that went down at King of Table. We know that Marcio had some problems with getting there with travel and all, and he had to get there 2 days later than expected, and could have had some jet lag implications and all. Do you think that made any difference, or do you think Irakli was just at another level that day?
I think the latter part of that comment is probably more accurate in some respects. I haven't had a chance to catch up with Marcio. Marcio, in my experience, has never been the guy that's an excuse maker. He's a magnificent puller. He's confident in who he is, and he'll usually just tell you how it is. I've seen him get beat, and he'll just go, "Yeah, I got whipped. What am I going to do? We've all been there, right?" But what I would say is that I think that that day, the stars were aligning for Irakli. He had so much, his game was so polished and together that day. And he fired a tracer round early, which potentially caused an injury to Marcio and limited what he could do. But he made Marcio chase him. He made Marcio come at him. And he made Marcio play his game. And he's good enough at that game that if you start to do that, he will put you away. And he's a very difficult opponent to beat in certain environments. You've got to be very, very solid in weird places to dismantle his technique. He's a great counter puller. He pulls on the ambush, pulls on the back foot. And he's very, very strong right now. And he's young and he's aggressive and he's hungry. And he wants it really bad. And I think it was his day.
I cannot wait for August 6th, man, because Engin set a perfect match for him. And that's Krasimir Kostadinov against Irakli. And this one is going to be a good one because we know that Krasi is a very, very experienced, knowledgeable puller. And, Irakli coming up, big, young, up-and-coming guy. This is going to be a test for him. How do you think that's going to turn out that day?
Great. First thing, well done, Engin. Love that match. Myself and Engin have done this for years. We've bounced that around matches. We're often exactly aligned. We often come up with the same matches. I absolutely love that match. We've talked about it before he set it many times as a sort of fantasy potential. How do you think this would go? We'll just be chatting away and he'll fire these out, I love it. For exactly the reasons I was talking about earlier with Krasimir. And I know Krasimir's taken a few hard losses recently, but against very different opponents, very different style of opponent. What I would say is if you chart back his history just prior to that, he's also had some really impressive wins against really difficult individuals. So he's got a set of tools which are dangerous for someone like Irakli because he doesn't necessarily need to have his wrist. He can be flat in the wrist and still have ability, particularly with a strap. If he can find the strap, I think he's got a great option, really good opportunity. He's also got recent information from Sasho. He's an analytical guy, very, very intelligent guy at the table, trains with a crew of killers. He will have broken down that match, and I think he'll diligently try to attack Irakli where there are some holes. And there are some holes. Irakli is a lethal. He's like a sniper. He's not got a massive spectrum of technique. He's got a couple of things that he does really well, you know. And I think both men appreciate that. And it's going to be a game of chess, move and counter move. And very much like we saw with Marcio, who can set the tone early? Who can make who play the other's game? And that's where it becomes really fascinating for me. I think we're going to see a strap pretty early. Krasimir's ability to get to the strap unscathed, and God knows that's the flavour of the month, is going to be interesting. I love that match. I love both those arm wrestlers. And again, kudos to Engin. Magnificent card, as usual. Ton of great matches. For an arm wrestling fan like myself, awesome, mate. Good job. I love it. Absolutely.